Hey everyone, Rascal here.
And Mama, welcome to our podcast.
Today we're covering another classic Monster High movie, 13 Wishes.
Yes, and this is one of my personal favorite films of the Monster High franchise. This movie follows Calwdeen's sister Howleen as she uncovers a genie in a lamp that will grant her 13 wishes. Now at first the wishes are made to help others, but as dark forces rise, those wishes start to become more sinister, and it's up to the ghouls to save the world.
Yes, it's actually a world-saving movie.
Yes.
And before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, put notification updates on future podcasts, and we'll pause videos.
Yes, there's just so much I love about this movie. It seems like everything about Monster High that went into it, the original Monster High franchise, I should say,
Right.
just made it really one of their most perfect movies.
Yes. And you love how creative the original show was. And knowing that, we got the live action movie coming out this month, we really wanted to cover some more of the classic one to recap how much we love and why we love the OG series.
Yes. And if you are wanting to watch and see the new one and maybe you happen to like it, that's okay too. But again, we wanted to pay homage to the original.
Right. And for here, this one actually has a really different feel and a different one to focus on. Instead of focusing on one of the main characters you actually have the sister of one, which was like really different. And like we said, there's this genie in a lamp who you get an entire backstory of as a cold opener before the intro starts. And even though I like how they show you the journey of the lamp during the song, so you know how it gets to the school.
Right.
So you're actually getting a backstory during the song, during the intro, so they're wasting no time giving you the whole thing.
In here, there were many different genres actually worked into the one movie. You had the coming of age.
Yes.
With Howleen.
Yes.
And you had the sibling rivalry aspect that was in here.
Right.
As you said, you had the genie who had her on path she was traveling.
Right.
And how she got into the bottle. And it mirrors what's happening with Howleen.
Right.
You also have the ghouls getting together, doing their teamwork, a la MLP.
Right.
And using their friendship to save Howleen and to save the school. You have the darkness of the movie itself,
right,
where all these things started happening, get darker and darker, and Howleen starts getting darker and darker, being overtaken by the shadow.
Right.
You have, it's just so many different elements that are in here. And the thing that's fantastic is they all work. Sometimes movies will do this where they're live action, anime or animated. There'll be too many different arcs and things going on. But somehow in this particular movie, it was like 13 Wishes also included 13 arcs that all work together to make this movie wonderful.
Right. That's kind of what happened. So for here, Howleen's going to be going to the Monster High school soon. So she kind of wants to stand out there. You see her get a little bit of a redesign in here so she could stand out more. And when she gets the genie bottle, like we said, she originally actually starts using it to help others. Like they really, one wanted to do all these insane tricks, one wanted to be accepted by family and stuff, and she made the wishes so that it would help them. She genuinely didn't want to help them. What you find out is that the genie has a shadow, and if making so many wishes gives the shadow more power. And if the shadow got out during, they got an eclipse going on here. They haven't seen that since Avatar. If it gets out during the eclipse, it will be free and it will take over the world. So, as you said, it starts influencing Howleen more and more, and it stops being so helpful and starts being more selfish, and it becomes sort of like a race against the clock type thing where they have to stop her before the genie takes over the world.
Yes, and the story is incredibly captivating. It's fun at parts. It's dark. As I said, it just has everything. One of my favorite parts is as each one tries to help Howleen, they end up being banished into the lamp itself, into a dark environment, and they have these gorgeous outfits that each one of them ends up putting on when they get to the lamp. And I was like, okay, you know me in the fashion, so I'm loving it. And then as each one goes in, they finally are figuring out what's happening, and they know they've got to get out to help her sister.
Right.
And part of what progresses this movie is Howleen. As I said, there's like a sibling rivalry, but only on Howleen's part. She feels inferior and subservient, I have to say, to Calwdeen because she's popular and she wants to make her own way. Jealousy seeps in,
Right.
and the more that comes up, the more bitter she gets, the more hateful she gets, the darker she gets, and it's easy for the shadow to manipulate her.
Right.
And you get to see a part of Howleen you didn't know existed, and then the shadow starts, as each ghoul is put into the lamp, there's a shadow version of each ghoul that is in the real world.
Right.
And starts to be evil as well. Like I said, there's just so much going on that works fantastically for this movie.
Yes. And one thing I liked is that when they're inside the lamp, as you're seeing them trying to get out, it's this whole other world and land. And part of it is like it's really fantastical.
With fantastic fashion.
Right. And one part you can get why the genie was lonely because it was this big vast world within the bottle, but she had no one else but the shadow. So the shadow was made to be her friend in the beginning. And it has all of these like this really cool looking landscape, like the Sahara Desert, the Sahara Desert in their world. When they get inside the palace, it's just full of books, so there's endless things to read. When there's like booby traps and things to make sure they don't escape, they're like video game levels, and they have to each come up with their own little way to get past the obstacle. And it's really things that would try to slow them down in order to get it more exciting. So I really like they took a lot of time to make like its own world within the bottle.
Yes, definitely. And as usual with Monster High movies, there is a happy ending. Everything gets resolved.
With a pretty cool song.
Yes. But the thing is, so much is going on that you're just drawn into the movie, and again, each thing is handled wonderfully. So it's not too much, it's perfect. And you can see why this is a one-of-a-kind Monster High movie. It would have been brilliant if they had used this to create another series.
Right.
Something like this as a series would have been great, especially for those who haven't seen the movie or the Monster High franchise. But they decided to go with something different, unfortunately.
Right.
But if you have never seen 13 Wishes, this is one you've got to buy. It's no longer available on Netflix. I don't know if it's on any other streaming service, but most likely you have to buy it. They're available
or go to Paramount Plus, most likely.
Possibly. And they're available to buy on Amazon. Really great prices. You can also get some that are double features and have an even better bargain. We own it, and this time of the year is when we watch all the Monster High movies all over again because they're just so entertaining and fun.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen it, you really should give it a watch and come back and let us know what you think. You definitely are absolutely going to love this movie. It's perfect not only for October, but just as a great watch for something different. They don't make animated movies like this anymore.
Right.
And really it'll take you back. It'll make you remember how much fun Western animation used to be.
Right.
How it had great stories and unique characters, and just made you really excited for what was to come next.
Right. And one last thing I want to add is that we really love covering these Monster High movies, and this is one of our favorites, especially for Mama.
Yeah.
And seeing live action, we know there are going to be some people that are looking forward to it anyway. But we were really disappointed by the first reboot. Really disappointed. The second one, this one doesn't really look that much better. But we will respect if you really want to see it and you think it's going to be great. But we really like how creative Monster High was in the beginning. This is what we miss. Unfortunately, we don't see something like 13 Wishes in live action. We could be wrong and they'll put it in the next animated series or live action franchise. But these are the types of movies we would love to see again for Monster High, and just being just freaky fun.
And I think another great thing about this franchise is, yes, they had a target audience, but even people who are adults now and people who are older than watching them loved it. Mm-hmm. So you had a target audience, but like Artemis Fowl, all ages could enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And that's what really stuck out about this franchise. And again, years later, still watching it, still enjoying it. Nostalgia isn't clouding our minds. It's just excellent writing, unique characters, fun. Something that hadn't been done before. Yes, many people have done their versions of, monster characters in movies, but nothing like Monster High had ever been done before. And it's obvious with the reboots, it'll never be done again.
Yeah.
Now, we are going to watch the live action movie. We are going to give the series a try, but there will always be a soft spot in our hearts for the original Monster High franchise. And we know some of you are watching feel the same. So, let us know what you think. If you've seen this movie once, twice, thrice, or many times as we have, let us know what you think in the comments below. What do you love about this movie? Do you love it as much as I do? Is it one of your favorites, or if it isn't? Talk to us. We really want to hear what you think.
Right. And if you haven't already, subscribe for updates and weekly videos on your favorite anime series, anime shows, and all things animation.
Absolutely. So keep being your wonderful selves, freaky flaws, and all.
Yes. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Ask Entertainment.
And I'm Mom Entertainment.
Have a toontastic day.
Peace.